Today we're going to talk about something very important for Adobe Illustrator, and that is using text. You're going to be using text quite a lot, especially if you're making advertisements, posters, or flyers or anything like that. If you go over to this left menu, you just find this T, left click, and then come over here and do one left click, and you'll get a spot for making this word. I'm going to actually type in hello world, like so. But there's a problem here, because if you go back to your selection tool, which is right here, and then we try to make this big, let me hit my shift key. It looks okay. What if I didn't use my shift key? Look what happens. We're actually distorting this, and maybe in some cases you want to do this, but probably not very often. So I don't recommend making text like this. So let's remove that, and let's go back to the text, left click, and instead we're going to drag out this text. So it makes a text box. Let's say we want our text box to be about, I don't know, this big. Let go. And now it fills in with sample text, but it's no big deal. We'll just start typing. This time, when I grab the end here, it's actually going to resize the box and not the actual word, which is most of the time is what we want. I'm going to use my Alt key, hold it down. I'm going to scroll with my mouse wheel, get close. And then let's select that just by dragging right here like you would in other programs, hit delete. And let's type in just a random sentence that goes something like, let's do easiestsolve.com is the best website for solving a Rubik's Cube, which I'll probably spell wrong. Let me zoom out again. Easiestsolve.com is the best website for solving a Rubik's Cube. Okay, so that's just a sample, just random text I just kind of pulled out of nowhere. And look what happens if I readjust this. If I pull this over here, watch what happens. It's going to adjust where the letters are to fit inside that box. So this is really nice to have that. This is the best way, in my opinion, to make the text in Adobe Illustrator. So let's make this text bigger. I'm going to hold the Alt key. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to hold down the space bar so I can move my view here. And then I'm going to drag this edge of the text box to be really big because we want some room here. For some reason, we wanted to fill this page with this sentence. So we're going to go over here to the right. This is the Properties panel. And as long as the text box is selected, the Properties panel will have items dealing with the text box. If you don't have the Properties panel, just go over here to Window, and then choose Properties panel and make sure that is checked. If you don't see what you need to over here, it's probably because you don't have it checked. So right now, it's not showing that information. So let's actually select the text box. Click left on the text box, and then you see the options for the text will appear on the right. Just so we can see what we're doing, let's make this bigger. So right here under Character, we've got font size. Right now it's 12 font size. I'm just going to delete that. Let's change that to 100. Okay. Now I do want to show a common error that happens where beginners will really kind of freak out. If you're trying to draw, say, a text box over here, this would be a great time to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's quick, easy, and it's free. I'm going to type in hello world right here. And then they come over here and they're like, well, I want to change this to a bigger font, so I'm going to change this to, say, 300. Let's say 200. Enter. Okay, that's fine. Then they're like, I want to go bigger, 300. I want to go even bigger. Let's go 400. And so at some point, they lose their text and they get worried. Did I just delete it? And the answer is no, you didn't. It's just hiding in the text box. If you look really close, you see this square, red and white square. It's got a little plus in it. It's telling you, hey, there's more text here. So that says, oh, that means I need to drag this out and then make my box bigger, and then I can start seeing that word. The same exact thing is happening right here. Notice we've got that same symbol, little red box with the plus in it. It means some of our sentence is not here. This is a great warning because sometimes you may not even know that. You may not be paying attention that you've cut off your sentence. But this red box tells us, hey, it's cut off. So click on that. Let's resize this, and now the word cube was not there. So now we can fit it where it should be. Let me resize this to fit the artboard just for fun. So now not only is this sentence really, really true, but it fits in our artboard. So on the right here, it says under appearance, we've got fill, black. So left click on that. Let's change it to a different color. Let's try maybe green. There we go. And then over here, we've got the stroke. So in other words, the outline of each letter. Left click once. And maybe we wanted the outline to be yellow for some reason, which would be horrible. Let's just pick blue. And again, these aren't going to look good right now, but if I keep increasing the stroke point, it can get so big that it overwhelms the fill. And sometimes you might want that, sometimes you might not. But there is the stroke. Right now I'm going to take it down to 0. Below that we've got opacity, which is opposite of transparency. So if I take this to, let's say 50%, then you're going to be able to see through it. If I drag it over here, you can tell that I can actually see through it. Okay, let's move it over. We're going to take that opacity back to 100. Here in the character section, we can change the font. It's even giving us a sample of our sentence. So let's go through and find a good font. There, this one's fine. Click that. Underneath that, you can make it, italic, bold, and sometimes other options, whatever's available for that particular font. Let's make it italic. We've already chosen 100 for that. Let's just leave that alone. Over here is what's called your leading. This is the vertical distance between lines. So usually it's on auto. Right now it's on auto. So whatever you've changed your font size to, then it's going to keep adjusting accordingly based on that font size. But what if we wanted to change it? Let's change it to, I don't know, here's 72. So it's 100 font, but it's 72 leading, so it looks kind of squished. What if I took it down even further? I can even take it down to the negatives and really squish it together. And there could be scenarios where that could come really in handy. Okay, taking it more. And again, you can just take it down to auto and it'll adjust based on your font size. This one here is going left and right. This is called tracking. You can remember it by a railroad track goes horizontally, left and right on the ground, and that's a railroad track, and this is called tracking. So if we change the tracking, you can see what it does here. If I go negative, this is a negative 100 for the tracking. If I keep going lower, you can see these letters are being squished together horizontally. If we go the opposite direction, say I made a tracking of positive 300, they're really spread out. Let's change it to 200, and then back to, there's 100, and then there's also 0, which would be the default. Here's a section called paragraph. Right now we are aligned left. We can hit center. Notice we're now centered. And what is that centering to? That's actually centering to the text box itself. So whatever size I have this text box, let's say it's about this big. Let me make that fit in a little better, 80. Okay. A little longer. Okay, so that is centered. Let's go align right. See what it did there? This is justified with last line aligned. So justified is it's going to try to hug the sides of your text box. But then on the last line, it doesn't know what to do. So you're telling it, just go left on the last line. Here is centering the last line. And this one over here is making the last line going on the right side, but it's still justified, which is hugging on the sides. If you do full justification, it'll just try to hug the sides no matter what. Under area type, by default, it's always on the top, meaning your text is going to start at the top of your text box. No matter where I move this, the text stays on the top. If I click this next one, which is the center, now no matter what I do with this text box, it stays centered vertically. This is bottom, so no matter what I do, it stays on the bottom. And then we have the vertical justified, which it'll even it out to the top and the bottom. If you know all the things I just showed you, then you can be pretty good at manipulating text in Adobe Illustrator. In the next video, we're going to show how to make the text even more free, and you can move it around in really unique positions, pretty much any position you want in Adobe Illustrator. So check it out. If you're comfortable with all these text features, then move on to the next video. This would be a great time to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's quick, easy, and it's free.